Hello. I just thought I'd have a little chat with you about the Aleister Crowley Thoth Tarot deck, which I haven't yet fully embraced. I've always had a little trouble with. I'm more of a Waite Smith follower and fan. Um, I I finally did see a walkthrough. I believe it was on Tarot Oracle's channel, where he had trimmed a copy of the deck, and I liked the images much better on the trimmed version. So I decided I'd tackle that myself. I hadn't done any deck modification before, but anyway, I bought this version of the deck, the big green box, and these are the card backs. Now, I've always had issues with this cross figure. I know it's symbolic, but it's always kind of irked me. And that was one of the reasons I had trouble with the deck. But the other reason is not only this white border, but on the opposite side there was a very fat border with labels at the bottom and keyword at the top, and I didn't like those. So I ended up trimming my version just like Tarot Oracle did, so that it reveals just the imagery, and I think it pops more. But I mean, this was my own deck modification, and it wasn't the most perfect. It wasn't bad for a first effort, but when I recently noticed that they had available on MakePlayingCards.com a mini deck version with a nicer, I think, back design, already trimmed, I decided to order it. Now, I'm not really a fan of mini decks, but I thought, it's reasonably priced, and what the heck, you know. So it's a thick, regular thick little tarot deck, but dinky little thing. And those are the backs, so it's pretty much the same design minus the cross. And you're probably familiar with these, but I'll just show them to you again anyway. So these are really tiny. I don't mind mini decks. I like the ones that come in a tin. They're more or less playing card size or slightly smaller. These are really dinky. I mean, actually, this card isn't in my other deck. I'm not sure what that card is. I don't think it's in the other deck. And of course, the problem I had with my deck after I trimmed the labels off is some of the cards I have trouble now identifying because they're no longer labeled. So until I'm more familiar with the deck, I probably need to get myself a little book that's illustrated that does have the labels again. These are illustrated by Lady Frida Harris, for those of you who don't already know. The deck was conceptualized by Aleister Crowley, who is a controversial figure, but you all can do your own research. I'm just showing you the cards. And this was available at a pretty decent price. I think that it was $15 or so. And of course, they have a kind of a hefty delivery shipping charge. I think it's about $9. So now I don't know whether I'll get any better use out of these cards than the trimmed version I have, but I just thought it was nice to have the nicer back design option and one that had been professionally trimmed by somebody else rather than my crude hands with a pair of scissors and a corner rounder. The cards have a nice feel to them. I like the cardstock at MakePlayingCards.com, which is why I recently had my own tarot deck designed and printed through them. You could see a walkthrough of that on my channel, Toadstool Tarot, which is where you are. Just look for my homepage and the other videos. I've done quite a few walkthroughs now. Coming up too close on a year of my channel. Can't remember exactly what month I started. I want to say June or maybe July. Might have been May. I like the abstract art in these images, although it doesn't make them necessarily any easier to read. But actually, I'm not sure. It looks like they might be cropped a little bit. I haven't compared them side by side with the other deck I had that I trimmed. But if you are in doubt, you can look at my other walkthrough. Now I just need to find a little tin or a bag to store these in because they just come shrink wrapped. No book, no box, just the cards. So there you have it. the extra small Aleister Crowley Thoth deck. Be nicer if they had these in a slightly larger size, but you know, it is what it is.